Life isn't fair. Life is hard. It can be lonely. And life is full of ups and full of downs. Life can suck on so many levels. Life can be hard, and it can be unfair. Life can be triggering and upsetting and stressful and full of pain and heartbreak and suffering. Life is full of suffering. We suffer because we don't have the things that we want, or we're trying to get rid of the things that we don't. We're afraid to lose the things that we think we have in life, and forget that the real things that we have cannot be lost, as they come from within. And you can't lose something that's inside of you. It's always there with you. But still the fear controls every aspect of your life. When you fear that the things that you love can be taken away from you, can leave you, can stop loving you, so you fear, and you're cautious, and you play it safe, and you cut the corners, and you lie, and you do what you have to do to make sure that you don't lose the things that you think make you happy. But if you're so afraid of losing them all the time, there is no happiness, only misery and suffering, and all from the fear that you might lose something that you thought you had, although you never really had it, if it's something that you could lose. And so we're stuck in the cycle of suffering, yearning for things outside of us, hoping that they might make us feel happier, more secure, maybe even more loved. We walk around life looking for these things outside in the world that are supposed to make our lives all better and worth all the suffering we experienced since we were born. And there must be something out there that's gonna make me finally feel happy and fulfilled and worth the air that I breathe. And from that hope that there has to be something that will make all of this shit worth it, we keep on looking and looking and looking and looking, and no matter how long we search, we never find it. And it's frustrating, and maybe it's my fault, and maybe I'm just not good enough to find it. Maybe I'm not worth it. Maybe I'm not worthy of that thing that I'm looking for, and so I'm looking for it, but I'm also running away from it and pushing it away. And the search continues. And once in a while, I'll find something that I think, that could make me happy. And it does for a while, until I start having those thoughts of fear, of the moment that that thing will leave me or disappear, and then I'll be alone again, and I'll feel shit, and I'll have to start looking all over again, and I'm tired, and I don't want to look anymore. I don't want to search. I don't want to be constantly looking for the thing that will make me happy. So I cling on to the thing that I have from the fear that I'll lose it. And then the harder and the stronger I cling on to it, the more it wants to escape me and run away, and then it leaves. And here I am, alone again, lonely, sad, angry, resentful. So I lay in my sadness, and I cry myself to sleep in my loneliness until I'm strong again, to look again for the thing outside that will finally make me happy, that will finally give me a reason, a purpose for my life. But maybe that thing doesn't even exist. Maybe it's just a figment of my imagination. Maybe reality doesn't even exist. And maybe it doesn't matter how long and how far I search for the one thing that will make me feel loved. Because it doesn't exist. Maybe it's not even out there. Maybe there is no such thing. And maybe some people need 80 years to understand that, and maybe some people need 30 or 40. I don't know how long it takes a person to realize that the thing that they've been looking for their whole life never ever existed. It was just a story. A story to keep me busy. Because as long as I'm looking for that one thing to make me happy in the world outside, I'm busy, I'm distracted. I'm on a hopeless search for something that doesn't exist. And I do it my whole life, and then I die unfulfilled, unloved, still alone, sad and fearful. And I don't want to die that way. I don't want to die while I was still searching for my happiness outside. I don't want to die lonely and fearful. And I don't want to live lonely and fearful. And I'm tired of the search for the non-existing thing that will make me happy. So I had no choice. I had to look somewhere else for the so-called happiness or love that everyone's talking about around me, and I heard of it in books and in movies and in TV shows and in theatre plays and in music, in songs, in love songs, in prayers. The love that I heard of my whole life and felt without ever feeling, without ever receiving the divine love that I have been connected to since birth, since before I was born, since before I came to this hellful place. But I don't think it's outside, Because I've looked and looked and looked, and I didn't find it. No matter how many things I found, I didn't find that. So, although life is hard and life is unfair, that's also a perspective of how I choose to see the world. For once I stepped inside in meditation, in prayer, in yoga, in contemplation, in listening to my fucking thoughts as much as I could, in listening to my feelings, in listening to the conversation I was having all along with a voice inside of my head that just kept on telling me that I was loved, even though I didn't believe it, even though I didn't listen to it, even though I ignored it and pushed it to the back of my brain. The voice was always there. It still is. It always will be. It always has been. I was just too busy looking for my happiness outside, and so I never heard the voice. The reassuring, loving, affectionate voice that I always had in my head. I was too busy looking outside. So when I went in meditation, in prayer, in begging and pleading God to help me understand this shitstorm of a life that I see that I've had, when I agreed to just breathe and feel my body and my breath and my emotions, my sensations that were always there. And when the noise of my voice and my thoughts and my worries and my anxiety and my depression slowly faded away in the silence of my being, that's where I heard the voice of love, of God, of my soul, of my guides, of my higher self, of who, whatever you want to call that voice. And all that voice did was reassure me that I'm not alone, that I'm never alone, that I'm always loved, I'm always taken care of. I have nothing to worry about because everything is okay. Even when things go bad, don't work out, seem like the end of the world, I'm still okay. My soul chose to come here to go through a magical and painful journey into complete nothingness of pure consciousness and the vibration of love and connection and friendship and compassion. To physically feel these things, my soul wanted to come here to experience life and all the sensations and all the emotions and all the ups and the downs and the goods and the bads. My soul has no judgment. She has no critique. My soul does not care of the outcome of petty arguments. My soul is not attached to the outcome of any of my actions. My soul is an observer, a watcher, who watches me with love and compassion and friendship. And the observer is the true me, the one with no opinion, no true desires or demands, or wishes or dreams, or thoughts, or memories. My soul simply sees, observes, watches me, and loves me with every choice that I make and every action that I take. No matter what I do, what I say, my soul watches me with a smile and a frown and no true emotion or opinion or sound. My soul just silently watches me and supports me and reminds me that nothing is real. And this will all end soon. And in every second that passes by, everything changes again and again and again and again and again. Nothing stays the same. Nothing is here forever. Nothing is truly real. The only thing that I can ever know for sure is what I feel in any given moment, at any given place, no matter what happens. I feel things, emotions, different emotions, at different times, with different people, for different reasons. And the stories, they don't matter. And justice is just an idea that people put in our heads centuries ago, generations ago. Ideas of society and education and health and money and culture and religion and God, all small ideas to keep us in place, to keep us miserable and lonely and sad, so that we keep looking for the answer outside, never finding, always looking. Sad, sad, sad. But there is a way out for whoever seeks such a way will find it. There is no one path to follow, for each soul has their own path. and the paths vary and change and are colourful and are full of exciting and terrifying experiences. As many people are on this earth, that is the number of paths that are to be taken. A never-ending, always growing number of pathways, of experiences, of adventures, of lifetimes lived by endless souls coming and going to this magnificent planet, diverse world full of physical experiences for us to enjoy and learn from. And the one true way for us to enjoy this insane, terrifying, exciting experience is through the eye of the watcher, without attachment to the outcome, or to the person, or to the story, without the hope that I will find my answers outside, with the understanding that I am here to experience, to enjoy, to learn, to fail, to hurt, to grow, to expand, to raise my vibration, to observe myself in different situations, and to grow from these observations, both participating and observing without attachment to the outcome, without a vision of a future that I think I need to live, and to be in this moment where life truly happens, where things are really real, where people are real, with backstories and emotions and 3D lives with so many complexities. And each person is a world, a universe, an entire dimension. And it's magical how we're all so different and how we all experience life in such a unique way. And instead of comparing and deciding and fighting about who is right about what this reality is, we need to start listening to how other people are experiencing this same reality we are in such a different way, and to see that it is possible, as there is no one reality and one world. There are many worlds and many realities. And the one we are experiencing is our own dream. And we are the creators of that dream. And as we may sometimes appear in other people's dreams and others will appear in ours, we will always remain the main character in our dream of this reality that we are manifesting in every moment that we are awake. The reality that we are creating for ourselves. And if we see that we are the creators, and we give up on looking for the thing that we think is going to make us happy on the outside, and connect from within to what is divine, then we can make our time here worthwhile. We can have fun, and we can love and connect and share and feel and bond, and we can love and feel loved all the time, in every given moment, and in everything we do. We can feel loved. as we are loved, always and forever. God never stops loving us, even if we're bad, and even if we've done something wrong. God never abandons us. He always loves us. He, she, they, it. No matter the pronoun you choose to use, you are always loved. That will never change. That will never go away. That may be forgotten from time to time, but that's okay. It still doesn't change the fact that you are loved. You have always been loved, and you always will be loved. You've just forgotten who you truly are. The thing that's deep, deep inside of you, always has been, always will be. The spark of the divine energy and love that rests inside you, your soul, who you really are. You've just forgotten, and maybe you're looking for a reminder, for someone to tell you that what you felt your whole life wasn't just in your head. It wasn't your imagination. It wasn't an imaginary friend or an hallucination. It was the truth. It was you, and it was the divine love that's always been there for you. And if you choose to take the path within and look for the things that you've been yearning for inside of you, inside of your soul, inside of your mind, your consciousness, your subconscious, the place you go to when you fall asleep and dream. You can go there in meditation if you just stop and breathe and relax and let go every day, again and again, and start looking for the answers inside you. If you change the questions that point within, then at some point you will too arrive at the conclusion that I have shared today, that is, that you are loved always. And that is a superpower, just to remember every day, without doing anything, without giving anything, without saying anything, without even opening your eyes in the morning, you are loved. And if you truly believe and feel the love inside of you every time you remember, then there will be no reason to look for anything outside. And the search can end, and peace can come into your life, into your body, and take you on the right path that you have always meant to go down. You were just too busy and distracted, looking for these things in the world outside, asking the wrong questions, looking for the wrong thing in the wrong place at the wrong time. But if you remember, in the morning, how loved you already are. You'll give up the search before you even begun, and just be whatever you want to be, however you want to be, with whoever you want to be, wherever you want to be. There will be no judge and no critic, just one voice left out of the endless amount of voices there used to be. And the one voice is your voice, the voice of your soul, the voice of God, the voice of the neutral observer, the watcher. And that voice always has the same thing to say. You are loved, do you remember? You are held, do you remember? We are here for you, always. Do you remember? And they will say this until you remember, and your heart is filled with love, and your mind is filled with light, and your being is content and peaceful. It's a delight to feel so light without the burden of your mind. And so you breathe again, and you see that although life is unfair, it's just part of the game. It's how it's supposed to be. And as long as it is unfair, it is also fair. As fair and unfair are judgments of the physical world, of the tree of life, of good and bad and day and light, and the sun and the moon, the black and the white, the duality of this existence, of this life, means that sometimes they will be unfair, but in other times they will be just. And the pendulum swings from the right to the wrong, and the right and the wrong, and back again and back again and back again, and never ending swing of life. And it doesn't matter if it's fair or unfair, because even in the most unjust places, you are still loved. And once you remember how loved you truly are in every waking moment, you will have God's love in your heart, beating and pounding and vibrating inside of you. And you will be present and awake and aware. You'll be there in the moment. You'll be. You'll be loved, and you'll be. And so every day we remind ourselves in meditation, in prayer, to breathe, to go back in to that conversation with that imaginary friend who always reminds us how much love we have inside us. And we live our life, our day to day. We go to work, we see our friends, we kiss our children goodnight, We thank our parents, our partners. We are grateful for all the good things that we have in our life, and for all this joy and love that we were able to bring to our life. We are grateful for the lessons that we learned, for the good times and the hard times, and the times in between, for our suffering and for our joy, and for being able to experience this insane journey of being a human being with all these emotions and feelings and sensations and flavors and sounds and sights, all these physical delights for us to enjoy and to suffer and experience all the wonders that life has to offer, without attachments, without constantly searching for something that doesn't exist. And we can just live and then discover our path as it folds out, step by step, day by day, with a full heart. And we can still complain and feel fucked up. That will be some days, and others will feel good and happy, delightful, passionate, fulfilled, loved. Isn't that all we want to feel? Loved? And maybe we need to feel unloved so that we can appreciate and enjoy the moments we feel loved. And maybe this is all just a fucked up game that God is playing on us. Maybe this is hell and we're stuck here forever. Who knows? Who cares? Take another breath. And I go back to the conversation that I have in my head with the one who always loves me, no matter what crazy thoughts I have going up in my mind. I go there, and he reminds me of how loved I am. And that is a miracle. Go back to the observer, to the neutral one, to the watcher, to the heart, to the love, to the truth, the only truth that exists in this insane world and existence. A daily reminder of my persistence is to remember who I am, who I truly am, where I truly come from, and where I will truly go after all of this is over, back home to my loved ones, my soul family, my true parents, my house of energy, my home of existence, the source of all things, dead and alive, the magical astral plane that cannot be described, only felt and experienced. And treasured. And until that day comes, and that day will come, we will all go home one day, that is for sure. But until that day comes, I go within until I reach that point of silence. And even for a small moment, I feel like I'm back home. I remember that I am loved, that I am love, that I'm never alone, and my heart smiles, and the child in me giggles, and I go out into the world for another day. And whenever I need a reminder of that special place, I just close my eyes. I take a few deep breaths, and I go there again, just for a second, and fill up my heart once again, until the next time that I forget. And the meditation and the breath are always there. And that's how I choose to spend my time here. By remembering and reminding myself and filling up my heart with divine love wherever and whenever I can, as there is an infinite source available for us to have if we just choose to go down the right path within, back to the source of all things. So my fellow travelers, brothers, sisters, mothers, fathers, friends, I wish you good luck on your journey. Good luck in this crazy place, in this insane world, in this unjust society of men. Good luck. I wish for you that you always remember who you truly are, and that you are always, 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 no matter what, so, so, so loved. Until we meet again.